Are we looking all right, please, Queen? It's looking like we are. Bot Ricks
Yeah.
is in the chit act. I'm probably loud as hell. Let me stop yelling. You know what? Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me grab something to put this can in. Not yet. All right, refresh it. The Bot Ricks is saying we up. Oh, it's saying I'm live. I know, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's saying it right here. Oh, we up? You know what I need right here? I need a fan. Okay, good. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh darn, I can't. I'm cussing in the first minute. We gonna get demonetized. I'm just playing. Oh, for real. All right, we live, baby.
My dog.
What's up, young days? How you living?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. Couldn't ask for more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we blessed.
So what's up, man? How you feeling, man? It's been a while.
And I feel good, bro. I feel the best I've ever felt actually as a adult. I feel the best I've ever felt before. So
Right.
yeah.
And why is that? Why do you
Man,
feel the best?
man, just living in purpose, lifestyle change, you know what I'm saying? Getting around the right people, getting
Mm-hmm.
around the right situations, you know what I'm saying? Like put myself in a position to succeed, you know what I mean? Like living out my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
being obedient though, you know what I mean? Like the main thing being obedient, you know what I'm saying? Doing everything I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it.
Mm. Mm. What inspired the change? Because I know I hadn't seen you in a while, and then I
Yeah.
see you, and I'm like, damn, that's a new dude. That's a new dude. That's a
Nah,
new
man, I
guy.
mean, to be completely honest, I just didn't enjoy the person who I was. You know what I'm saying? I needed a change. I needed a kick in the back when within myself to be like, you know what, I can be better than this. I felt like I was
Mm-hmm.
doing everything right from the business standpoint side of it. You know what I'm saying? From being a producer and a company man and doing all that, but it's like physically, mentally, emotionally, I wasn't nowhere where I'm supposed to be. So I was like, if I align all those things with what I got going on right now musically, I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
all right. You know what I mean? Like I was like, it's gonna be all right. So
Hold on one second.
I know you good, brother.
You know, we us content creators, we're always moving. We got too much going on. So so you have essentially transformed yourself. You feel like you're operating in Super Saiyan levels?
Yeah, I feel like God uses me in every
Mm.
aspect of the way. Yeah.
This is a new conversation.
Yeah.
That's different. I don't think I ever heard you speak about Z Lord like that.
Man, listen, like I said,
Excellent.
I'm a firm believer that if you allow yourself to be used by the man upstairs, and like I said, I'm a firm believer. I speak to Jesus every day. You know what I'm saying? Like really, I talk every day. And
Right.
I'm a firm believer if you let your problems go and just trust in what he say you should do. Like I said, be obedient. Things may not be going your way today, but be obedient and knowing what he said you're gonna have, and you got to know what he told you to do first. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't do it, and like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I know everybody a little different and what they believe and all the things, but like for me, it's working in my favor because I'm listening and I'm paying attention and I'm doing those things, and I'm seeing some great results. You know what I'm saying?
So okay, my question more or less is what inspired this version? Because you got to remember, I've known wrong for a
Yeah.
very long time. And
Yeah.
I even say that because even listening to um Doc's album,
Mhm.
there was a there was a switch. It was almost like coming off of like the luck stuff, there was a more sort of like a darker undertone, and then now it's kind of like you finding the light. It's like, what inspired that? You know what I mean?
I would say just every day inspired it, family, what I'm saying, friends, just being around people, just looking at myself in the mirror, just knowing I wanted more than what I have. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like just simple. It's not necessarily a drawn out answer. My bad for not giving you not, a Picasso answer, but it's just more so like I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the mentality I was in. Let me change it. And I didn't want to blame anybody, because sometimes people get into like pointing fingers and why this person ain't doing this for me? Why this person ain't doing that for me? It's like, well, what are you not doing for yourself? Right. So
mm,
that was the main thing. And I feel like, I mean, as far as the light in the music, I mean, you get that too. And some days are lucky, what I'm saying, which was the first project with Luck. It just so happened when we did the perfect villain, that was just a switch to where me and Luck was just in some like we really was just on some like Joker type vibes. You feel me? Like we was really in
mhm,
that bag to where that was the time, it was going into we dropped that in November, so it was going into like the colder months. It was getting darker earlier. He really wanted to rap. I really wanted to make rap beats. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted to change the focus and the narrative. But yeah, I think the light that you
mhm.
speak on, which is in the seventh day, it's existed in a lot of different records that I've put out prior, but like now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that bag to where it's like, let's find the light in things, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we still play around with some stuff, but let's find that light too.
Okay. So that leads me to my next question, right?
Hmm.
When I interviewed Doc, he explained to me that your father
Hmm.
is actually an artist.
Yeah, the greatest.
As long as I've known you, the
Hmm.
only other person that I knew in your family that was an artist was your brother, right? Your brother is the one that brought you into the studio.
Yes, sir.
How did I miss that in all this time?
I don't know how we never had that conversation. Yeah, my dad is one of the greatest. I love my father. Like if me and my daddy in the car together, like we singing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we singing. Like
Mhm.
we trying to hit harmonies together. Like I can't wait to get in the car with him just to play him. So I'm like, what you think about this? Like, and he'll tell me for real. Like my dad is whistling on Doc's album on the what's the name of the song of this? I mean, so I'm trying to think of the song name. Goodness gracious. Um, Odyssey. On Odyssey, that's my dad
Mhm.
whistling in that song. It's a part where it's like dun, 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 but he whistling.
Mhm.
But we were
I'm
just in the
gonna have to
studio.
go
Me,
back and listen to this.
yeah, me and my brother did that beat, and we was in the studio, and I was like, "Pops," I said, but he'll whistle like he's singing. Some people like whistle like just to like call somebody. Like he's whistle singing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, add that to the track, pops. He just so happened to be on my crib that day, and he added that in, and I loved it. And I was just like, that's one of the highlights that a lot of people don't know. Like I got to do a Doc Deasy record, which is Doc is my cousin, and I got to do that record with my brother and my dad. So it was pretty cool to have a family affair on that one song.
How is it that this entire family is musically inclined? Like, what is in that water up through there, man?
I don't know, man. It's like I said, we have a ton of people who in my family uh, uh, from like my mom sings as well. Like my mom and my dad actually were on the ensemble together, and like this wasn't like no regular like church group. Like they was traveling singing. Like I'm talking about going to New York singing and what I mean, singing behind big names. And my cousin D, Devin Scott, he's also on Doc's album, but he's a part of Complicated, the TV show, Johnny Sizemore's TV show, and he does a lot of musical things. Man, the list goes on and on. Doc and Cam, obviously. My little cousin, I have a lot of little cousins who actually rap and and sing as well. So yeah, bro, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, so that also leads me to something that I've always wanted to ask you,
Hmm.
and I think I have an idea of the answer, but I'm still gonna ask the question.
All right.
Um, I've noticed a theme in your collaborations where you have more or less, for lack of a better term, a comfort, right? So there's the norm, and then there's also sometimes like, let's say you hear something new and you like, oh, I like that, I'll do it. What kind of keeps you in that pocket with just collaborating with, the people that you just are kind of like every day attached to, instead of more or less the let me venture out to these other creators?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, to be honest with you, if you look at my projects, to debunk what you're saying, though, to be honest with you, every project has new features on it. Like, this is the first project. I got Sauce on this one. I got Doc on this one. This is the first Days on 85 and Doc DZ record since Good Days. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
On the last, I got Where's Neil. I had Where's Neil on the last one. I worked with Jason. Um, I don't really do a lot with a lot of different. This is my first. This is the first Zabo Gotti record that you've gotten from Days and Zabo.
In a
Um,
while, you had Zabo on some older stuff, right?
some SoundCloud stuff, but never like on like the projects. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I would say realistically, when I get in with people, of course I want to. I don't like email joints, and of course it's certain people who I like to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love working with Max. I love working with everybody who I've worked with, but me and Max have a lot of records together, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Max probably
Hmm.
got 15, 20 records together. You know what I'm saying? That people ain't heard. Um, Me and Luck obviously have a ton of records together. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I mean, realistically, I don't have like I said, a crazy answer about that. I try to venture out as much as possible. I work with who want to work with me for the most part, and if we can get in and lock in, but also too, it's not like a thing to where it's like, "Hey, I'm about to email you this and let's just work for the first time." I want to get to know who you are too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, the reason I say that is
those and
because
stuff like that.
scratch the email out of it, because I do understand the whole, oh, I'll send you something over type situation. But like last year, was it last year? Or it might have been like the top of this year, you started the producer of the year campaign.
Yeah.
And I thought about this earlier, just kind of going through my mental Rolodex and what to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, when you lay that claim, right? And like you said, you work a lot with um Max. You obviously got a lot with Luck. Um, you're kind of known to be around like Zabo and everybody from that camp, and then like I said, there's a few splashes, but in like the grand scheme of things, what would it take for you just to just lock down and create something with people that you've never worked with? Like, just produce new artists instead of like being like, hey, I'm gonna stick here. Cause they say it about me kind of in the content space where I'm sort of kind of talking to like the people that I know, or that situation. So I kind of throw that question out there just to kind of figure it out for both sides. Like, me as a content creator, how do I step out? Or you in the music space, how do you get into like, what? Everybody that I've ever worked with, y'all stay over there. I got a pool of new talent, especially being in our area where I feel like we're the hotbed of talent.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say that's like I said, that's a tough question because, like I said, I produced for Play last year. I had never worked with Play before, so I got two joints on Play. I just worked with Chubby Sensei. I got a joint with Chubby. Um, that's about to drop. Jordan Lawson, just worked with him. Um, got a joint
I
with
guess,
Rich
I guess,
and
I
Max
guess,
and, look,
I
yeah.
guess. Let me ask this.
Hmm.
When do we get the street version of Days? When do we take that
That,
dive into the streets?
but I'm gonna be completely honest. Tried to. It's just the aligned. You get what I'm saying? Like the schedules haven't aligned to where it's like this person and me can get in together, or we have gotten in together again. Because I'm a person to where it's like I like to create, but I like to create with people to where it's like I want to get in with you. Like let's get in, lock in, and I don't email packs over. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. It's probably been 5 6 years since I emailed a beat pack. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting in and
Mhm.
carving out records with people. So obviously, it's a lot of people in the area who I would love
Who
to
are they?
link
Who are
up
they?
with.
Who are they? Who
I
are they?
mean, you know,
Let's put it in the air.
Kenzie, and we work with Kenzie on a visual project that you guys will see later. L.A. Kenzie, um, which that was my first time really meeting him when we was filming. You know what I'm saying? Like, but super solid guy, super dope individual who I would love to sit down with and carve out some records. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like
Mhm.
he's super talented. He's definitely on the top of my list. And we've talked like here and there about some stuff. Um, to where I would love to work with him. Of course, my uncle is one of the was a part of the management team for Trill A. Would love to get in with her, work with some stuff with her.
Your uncle.
Um, yeah, my uncle Tim.
That's your uncle?
Oh
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Nigga, I did not know that. The world is too small.
But I mean, it's a ton of people. Like I said, I mean, and realistically, I tell people all the time, it's like I'm here, and people can hit Snook up when they want to. If you want to work, you can hit me. You know what I'm saying? Half the time, it's like people don't. You know what I mean? Or they just busy. You know what I'm saying? Which I totally understand. And oftentimes, it's like I'm not going to get to work with everybody. To be honest with you, that's the whole thing. It's like no one's gonna ever get to work with everybody, right? And sometimes if you look at it, if you look at the major producers, if you look at the major producers like such as like Timbaland or Pharrell, they had certain artists that they broke. What's up, man? They had certain artists that they broke. So sometimes instead of doing 30 different artists, right? As far as Paul, but working on 30 different artists' project, right? 40 different artist projects. Sometimes it's cool to lock in with one and build a catalog. You feel me? So realistically, it's like I want it. Like when you think about Aaliyah sound, you think about Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaliyah's hits are Timbaland songs. You feel me? Like
Right.
when you think about Jay Z's main, and you a Jay guy. But it ain't but 4 or 5 producers you thinking about. You ain't thinking about all of them now. You thinking about Kanye, Just Blaze, Swiss, Tim, and Pharrell. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
because I've learned that there are way more people
It is.
that have produced like the records I like.
No,
Let
I'm
me
talking
say
from a
that. The
mainstream, the,
stuff
the the mainstream records. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, not the B sides, obviously, right? The B sides are a lot more of your producers that you're like, oh, I didn't know he did this, I didn't know he did that. But as far as like all the
but
big
I think
hits,
I think the B-side records are what cements an artist.
it does. But
Cause
see, that's what I'm trying.
Doja Cat got a gang of hits. I don't know none of her B-sides though.
Like it's different between that pop artists too. Them pop artists, they strive on hits. You know what I'm saying? Like
OT
pop music,
Genesis is a gang of singles too. Like even when we go into that lane. You know what I mean?
facts, facts, and all. But you got to think he's not a. It's a difference between um. Some people are like Max said this. He was talking to Mo, and I totally agree. Some people are album artists. Some people are single artists. Some people are visual artists. Like Toby Newingway is a visual artist. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to see what he got going on. You ain't gonna necessarily like. I've never got nobody's car and they was playing this music, but I've been in plenty of people's houses and they had his videos on. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it's more so like locking down certain sounds and being like, and also too, it's like I do trap music, obviously, right? I'm from the city, so it's like I do trap music, but it's like that's not my forte. That's not my bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do it. I can I can definitely do it to a high level. But it's like as far as the sound I'm trying to push, it's like let me push it with this person, this artist. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against nobody else. Would love to work with anybody who's talented in the city. You know what I'm saying? If the time allows and everything is everything. But again, too, it took me working with Luck to get the motion in the rap world. You know what I'm saying? To where people were like, "Oh, he's just not a part of the group no more." Because at one point, and like I said, it was my fault. I'm not letting people know my purpose in the classmates outside of my voice, being a singer. You feel me? Um, my bad. You can still hear me.
Yeah, I can see. It's all great.
Hey man, you know these AirPods, boy. Listen, but I wasn't letting people know like or they didn't know my purpose in the group, right? They don't know like if you ain't been in the studio with me, you may not know what I do. You may not know I can actually produce the song, like actually make the beat, actually sing the hook, write the hook, vocal produce, engineer the song. You know what I'm saying? You may not know that. And so unselfishly but selfishly, when I did Some Days Are Lucky, that was my rap version of because I had already been Days on 85 coming out with Catch 22, right? But I had never been Days on 85 from a production standpoint around here. And when I did Some Days Are Lucky, I think that opened people's eyes up to who I am a little bit more. You know what I mean?
So you feel like Days on 85 is, I mean, it's not Days on 85. Some Days Are Lucky. Jesus
Hmm.
Christ.
Yeah.
Some Days Are Lucky is your inception, if you will, to the masses.
As far as a producer, yeah, for sure.
As
For
far as
sure.
producer.
Around here, as far as a producer, yes. Because that was a big enough artist, right? Luck is a big enough artist to where it's like people listen. Nobody's bypassing Luck. He's known as one of the best rappers around here, right? As far as from a lyricist standpoint, which I've always felt like it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our relationship has grown over the last 3 years. We've always been friends, but I notice I'm like, bro, people really rock with Luck, right? They're attached to Luck. But the one thing, and we've had this conversation multiple times, so it's nothing that I wouldn't say here that I wouldn't say to him. I felt like he was missing that body of work. You get what I'm saying? To where
True.
it's like you have
True
moments, right?
statement.
You
True
can have the
statement.
moments, but you're missing the body of work. Where's the body of work, right? Where's the one I can hang my hat on to be like, hey, no skips. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is that? So that's why I say selfishly, unselfishly, I felt like I could give that to him. I knew I could give that to him. But also too, I did it in a way to where it was like I'm a very consistent person to where I like things to go a certain way. I'm hands on. You know, you don't work with me plenty of times before. It's like I'm hands on, bro. I like certain stuff certain ways. And I need ultimate trust because when I have a vision, I have to execute it, right? And sometimes if
Hmm.
our visions aren't aligned, or you may feel like, I don't know about that. I don't know. So I got to show you. That was my showing party, right? As well. Like, hey, if you trust me, anybody who worked with me, I use two words when we start. Trust me. Those are my two words that I use every time. So anybody who I work with, I need ultimate
Go
trust
ahead.
from them. And then, we move from there.
So not only did you do it once,
Yeah.
you essentially did it 3 times,
Yeah. We was rolling. We was
right?
rolling. Yeah.
Then you double back, triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever
Hmm.
back you want to call it. You get Doc his crown jewel, if you will,
Yep.
right? So
Hmm. I'm gonna be completely honest. I never feel like I owe it to anybody. I just when I hear it, when it's time, it's time. Like this, none of these were planned out. Like it wasn't like I had a list of people's name on the wall. Be like, oh, I gotta work with this person. Gotta work with this person. Gotta work with this person. I never felt like that. Because you gotta remember, JG. Like when I moved to LA, I was meeting people who I was listening to when I was younger. You feel me? And I'm working with them. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like, oh, I gotta work with X, Y, and Z. I would love to, but I don't have to work with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even now, today, like I told Snook yesterday, I was like, if I never get to work with Beyonce, I'm totally fine. You know what I'm saying? Because the plan has to be in place to where that makes sense to happen and it's supposed to happen. I'm not chasing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that are supposed to happen. When some days are lucky happen, it was
It's some,
because
but it's something that you're like bucket list. I gotta do it. It's something there because
yeah, I
we all
mean,
have it. I know
yeah,
for me, it's the day, and I'm speaking this into existence because I'm gonna fucking do it. The day I get the call and Hove is like, "Yo, you nigga from South Carolina,
yeah,
I owe you one. Let's go."
yeah.
Pause. Like that's
Yeah,
like that's like if I do that, I might never pick up a camera again because it's like, what more can I say?
yeah. No, I mean, it's
That was
people
a
like I
good
said,
one.
it's
Shout
people
out
who I
to me.
would want that to happen, but it's nobody to really like that people
It's
would
somebody.
guess. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
somebody. Young Days. Days is it's one. You're like,
Listen,
I know
Brandy
what
is
I
my
can do.
ultimate collab. If I get in the studio with Brandy, I'm fine. And I've met Brandy before, and I was stuck. That was the first person I've been in studios with a lot of people. That was the first time I was ever stuck because of what she means to me as an artist. But again, most people would expect me to say the biggest names in the world when it's like if I was in the studio with Kendrick or Drake or Rihanna or any of these people,
Who? Who?
any
Who'd
of
you
these
say?
people,
You said who now?
any of
What was
those
it?
goats. We ain't gonna get into
What
that.
was
But
the who?
any
The
look,
what?
if I'm in there with any of the goats and any, I'm good. I'm
You
feeling
keep
great about it.
you keep putting somebody in that category. You got to remove it. It's time to remove that name.
Nah, we remove. Listen.
It's time.
Listen. All I know is if I was in there with any of them, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Um, because any of them can change my life on a monetary standpoint, right? And from a notoriety standpoint, any of them can change my life. But it's not necessarily like I said. I'm at peace with a lot of different things, bro. Like how
Young
I
Mo
look,
and the shit at.
Moses. How like how I take things, bro. Like you gotta understand, bro. Like I said, I'm in a different spiritual place. I don't even want songs to be out there to where it's like I ain't met the artist. I know people who write songs for the biggest artists and they never been in the studio with them, can't call them, can't do nothing. For me, I like creating with people, bro. I love creating. I'm obsessed with creating. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm obsessed with it to the point to where if it's the people who are around here, cool. If it's the people who in LA, cool. I'm obsessed with creating with people who we like minded. We agreeing on like how we want to take this. You know what I'm saying? Like and I and what I'll say from working with those two guys in particular, I've already had a relationship with them, but also too I heard vividly. Like when I told you early in the conversation, like I'm listening more, you know what I'm saying, spiritually. Like me and Black was literally shooting my video for a therapy session while I was running up the road or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, bro, I want to do a project with Luck, but if I tell Luck I'm gonna do a project with him, it's never gonna get done. Because you got to think this was at the time when Luck was on a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Like he was about to have a baby, and it's like his mind wasn't in music. You get what I'm saying? This was right after COVID. So I said, you know what? Luck is my guy. I know if I start sending Luck records and just asking for verses, he gonna think he working with me, just on some stuff. Like, I'm sending stuff out to people all the time. So I'm like, hey, look, just send me this, just do a verse, bro. Like, do it from your perspective, but we're gonna try to sell it. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. And I ended up creating an album for him, right? Which to me is musically is one of the greatest moments in the history of music. I'm not talking about just in Spartanburg area. I'm talking about the history. Nobody ever has done that before. And I can hang my hat on and say that nobody's ever surprised somebody with their own album. Um, so I felt good about that. And then also with Doc, like, bro, I was at the crib folding clothes one day. Doc was literally coming by my house and he was recording for a mixtape that he was going to do called The Flood 2, which basically is, like the original mixtape style where he's rapping over other people's beats, right? So literally, bro, I think we did like 6, 7, 8 records for that. Like he was just sending me over the beats. I'll record them because like I'm a lot of these guys' personal engineers as well. So he coming over to record, and then one day he called me. He said, cousin, I don't know what to do with this. Like I'm not engaged in doing it. I said, well, why are you doing it? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, you probably shouldn't be doing something. I mean, you can't do nothing with these songs. And then I was folding clothes one day, JJ. Well, it was one night I went to the dorm. I went to a Dorman basketball game. Me and my family went to a Dorman
Nasty.
basketball
That's
game.
nasty.
Well, no, bro, I was just literally trying to get out the house because, like, bro, I was working so much, and like around here, it's not like a ton to do. So it's like
You went to Dorman, though. That's
they
disgusting.
play Spar High though. They play Spar High. I promise you, they play
Oh,
Spar High.
okay.
Yeah,
Go.
I mean,
Okay.
I was
You
actually
cleaned
trying to
it
go
up.
to I was trying to go to a Burns game. They didn't have a game that night, but I went
That's
to
nastier.
but I went to the Dorman game, bro, and I'm at the game, and I say, Doc, pull up to the house. He said, when? I said, tonight. He said, all right, I hit Luck. I said, look, pull up to the house. He said, when tonight? So this is the first time I believe they had been in the studio together for a while. But we got in the studio, and Doc, we ended up doing Beautiful Ending, right? I just played him in the beat.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. Luck is in there. Me and Luck got production credits on that too. You know what I mean? Y'all show my boy some love. Because Luck was in there, you know what I'm saying, next to the board, you know what I'm saying, helping with the drums and everything. And he did that, bro. Maybe 3 days later, I was like, this is the space Doc is in. He in the space, bro. And I was folding clothes and I heard vividly. It couldn't have been more clear. I heard you have to do Doc's album. And if my timeline is correct, this was Sunday, right? This was Sunday. I called Doc right then. No, I'm sorry. I called my boy Cobb down at Sound Standards. I said, Cobb, when do you have availability? He said, I'm booked up tomorrow, but we can get in Tuesday. I said, cool. Give me a few hours for Tuesday. I'll let you know in a minute how many hours I need, right? He said, bet, it's yours. So I already called the engineer. You know what I'm saying? Then I called Luck. I said, I need you at the studio Tuesday, right? Then I called Cam. I need you at the studio. I'm calling other people first. Doc may not even know this. I said, I need you at the studio Tuesday. I called my cousin D, who's singing on Feel Alive. I need your studio Tuesday. I called MJ, who's playing the trombone on Feel Alive. Then I called Doc, and I said, Doc, we're doing your album Tuesday. I'm sending you beats starting tomorrow morning. Went to the office at 4:30, 5 o'clock that morning, and start cranking out beats. I'm talking
Wait,
about
you're at your 9 to 5, knocking out
speakers in
beats.
the office.
You created all this on the clock?
On the clock.
Yeah, you're a sick nigga, though.
Well, I wasn't technically clocked in. Like, I didn't clock in to about 9, but like, nah, bro, like literally, like Feel Alive, bro. Because Luck was at work. I'm chopping up Feel Alive, the sample. I said, look, I got the record I need you and Doc on. Send it to him. He said, oh, I'm writing now. Send it to Doc. I was doing all this, bro, at the desk, bro. Like I'm doing all this at the desk, send them all over. The next day, and I sent him over way more beats than what's on the album, by the way. I sent him over like 20 records.
What the fuck else is just laying out there in the internet right now?
It's a ton. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like I did some of the beats I had already. Some of the beats I had, I just tweaked them. But like 5 or 6 of the beats that's on there, I did in the office, right? And then the next day we got to the studio. Everybody was on time. Doc literally went in the booth. He did the first joint, which I believe the first joint he recorded, I could be wrong, but I believe the first joint he recorded was Feel Alive. Him and Luck both did Feel Alive. And then he literally stayed in the booth. I told him don't come out the booth. We just kept loading up the beats. And he was like, all right, cool. All right, I got this one. And he'll rap through. He'll stop. I'll coach him up on some things. He'll rap through again. Boom. All right, let's go to the next one. And then we had 2 hours originally. We ended up getting, I think, 3 to 4, maybe. 4 hours. We ended up getting 4. And he kept on going. I mean, we went, bro. We went, and then we was done with that, and that night too, he rapped over the what's known as a lot of the songs had different names too. So I'm sorry I'm forgetting the names of the song. It originally was called Wild West, but the one with Max, right? The record with Max, he rapped on it. Doc was rapping on it. I
Go
said,
get
I can
mommy.
I
Go
can
get
hear
mommy.
Max on this, and I sent it over to Max, and Max sent it back over while we were still in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because Max lived in Greenwood, so he couldn't make it to the studio. But
Right.
yeah, bro. And then I spent a week probably mixing and post production, and then we went out to the water, shot the visual.
Get some popcorn.
That was it.
Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. Go ahead. I'm talking. So you okay? So he said that too. He was like, Max had to come back in on the back end, but
Mhm.
most of that album is done in a night, right?
Everything except for Max verse and Cam verse, Bobby Valentino verse. He did his 2 nights later because he had to dip out. He had to dip out a little earlier. And
Mm-hmm.
he wrote the verse that night, but he didn't get to get in the booth. So we did his verse. I recorded him like 2 nights later.
Okay. So you got all that done, right?
Yeah.
Now, by this point, you are straight producer mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the space you in.
Yep.
At what point does the switch flip and now it's like, all right, cool. Let's go back to being a artist. Let's go back to doing what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I would be honest and say like I'm always in both modes. I just don't always show both. It just depends on where I need to be at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, like how you like you're always gonna be a son, right? Like your mama always gonna be your mama, but you're a father too, right? So it's like, but when you at the house with your son, you daddy mode all day. But then it's sometimes like we both got sons, so it's like it's sometimes I get to my mama house, I'm like, oh man, I feel like a kid again. You feel me? Like I'm in, but I'm both
Every
all the
time I
time.
go over there.
Yeah, so I'm both all the time. So I never switched. I never switched into it. It was just more so like with the artist thing. I didn't want to pop back out as an artist until I felt comfortably physically. You get what I'm saying? Like
Why?
the main thing that people should tell people who are artists is a lot of the marketing is a look. A lot of it, probably the music aspect of it, especially in today's world, the music aspect in any time, bro, is probably 20% of it. You know what I mean? Like 20% of it is the music you make, and then you have a small percentage of it, it may be like your personality, and then a lot of it is how you look, how you dress, your appearance. You get what I'm saying? Like think about this as a pastor. There's no mega pastor out there who has a large congregation who don't look fly. You can preach the best word in the world, but if you don't look like you fly, them kids ain't coming to church. People ain't pulling up to that because it's an appeal, bro. You feel me?
They
So
got
it's like,
money though, bro.
nah, for sure. So, but you
They
gotta think,
big paid. They big paid
but
now.
how you get there though? You gotta think of how you get there. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was more so like you can't be an R&B singer and you ain't fitting the role. You feel me? Like in every aspect, and it's also to a comfortability of like popping out and feeling your best self when you come out there as an artist. You get what I'm saying? Like I never wanted to not feel my best self.
So you feel like, because I noticed something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since the first time I interviewed y'all, when me and Rento did it in that tattoo shop, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
always go back to this moment
Mm-hmm.
where we sitting in the spot and it's like, all right, let's take the pick. It's me, you, Frankie, Tim, Rento, right?
Yep.
Everybody's face is visible, and you pulled the move. And I thought it was fly as hell, so I did it a few times. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, the face
Well, you
covering up move.
covered your face, right?
Yeah.
And then I started to watch like the different visuals. Even with the visuals now, I've noticed something about you. You rarely like gaze into the camera. A
Yeah,
lot of the visuals, like especially Gorgeous. Gorgeous is always one that I go back to where I'm like, you see Rome, but it's for like a smooth, like couple seconds type shit.
facts.
Is that where is are these moments where you're uncomfortable with yourself and you're like, damn, I gotta figure out how to
How to master it.
become,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
How to become like, how do I showcase myself without having to showcase it? Because even now, like in the latest visual, you're visible, but you're still not necessarily like singing the song into the camera. It's more or less of like artistically, I'm here, but then at the same time, I'm not the focus,
hmm
right? So are these like concentrated efforts to where it's like I want to do it like this, or is this like a I'm still trying to figure out how to become like cameraman? You know what I mean? How do I
yeah,
become, that guy?
yeah. That's a good question. I mean, what I would say is the Lost video that you're referring to, as far as that amazing idea Black came up with, um, to where that's probably the most you've seen me in a video. You know what I'm saying? Like the most you've seen me, and that was from a standpoint of comfortability. You feel me? Like I feel comfortable standing here. I feel comfortable posting pictures now that I feel good about. You know what I'm saying? Um, beforehand, and of course, I don't really love videos to where I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I loved these videos to where it was like movies. You know what I'm saying? Like these short
Go get
film.
them out that plate. They're right there. Take that plate down the hall. Right there. Yeah, grab that. I'm sorry.
No, you good, brother.
It's eat that. It's too late for you to eat. My
But now
bad.
these short film videos, bro, like I love those videos. So I consider myself, as much as I consider myself producer of the year. I feel like I'm director of the year. I feel like I'm artist of the year. I feel like I'm R&B singer of the year. I feel like that's how I feel about everything I do. You know what I'm saying?
Pop that
So
shit.
no, but I really feel like that, bro, because I'm really like I said, this is I'm never tearing nobody else down to build myself up. I will always praise those around me. I do feel like myself, the blessings and the gift that God gave me, I was dumbing it down too much to make other people feel comfortable around me. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, because I mean, most people do it, bro. We all do it, right? Think about this. Somebody walk in, they say, JG, boy, you looking good, boy, you looking fresh, boy, look, you getting that money. Nah, bro, I'm trying to get like you. You just dumbed yourself down to make that person feel comfortable, right? When it's like realistically, we have a hard time accepting those compliments. You feel me? And it's like, for me, I'm in a place now where I can accept my blessings, because beforehand it's like, hey, bro, you the hottest out here, man, bro. I'm just trying to do a little something. Whoa, why am I responding like that? Why am I responding like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like I'm the hottest, and I definitely feel like that every morning I wake up, every night I go to sleep. Why am I not
Nah, bro.
standing in
I
it?
feel like that. I tell anybody. I think I'm the boogeyman.
But see, you gotta be, so, and you have to be who you want to be, right? Instead of,
I realize no, but I realize I think I'm the boogeyman, bro. I've watched, and I think we kind of vibrate on the same frequency on the sense of we know, or those. Let me say those that know who Days on 85 is, right?
mhm,
And we understand and comprehend just exactly who you are. I be feeling like sometimes, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but 9 times out of 10, I'm right, especially in this shit. I be feeling like I know who I am. That's why I don't like it's hard for me to see competition.
mhm,
Cause I know nobody can fuck with me where I'm at. Like what I do, the way that I do it, the ideas that I have, like even when I'm watching those that are in the levels above me, I know how to, oh, they do this. So let me figure out, oh, okay, this where
yeah,
we're going, boom, boom, boom. Like I see that. So I tell people all the time, like I know, like, and I see like a lot of different shit. Like I be like, yeah, I know I'm the fucking boogeyman. Like you, a lot of y'all be doing this shit, and like a lot of people do certain shit, but it's like, yeah, I know what I do.
Yeah,
So I
but you
understand
gotta
it.
be the same person in every room, and that's what I think
I
a
am.
lot of people shy
I'm
away
a
from.
humble beast. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like. I'll sit down and like I'll talk with people. I'll even like reach out and try to fuck with like different people on like in that way. But it's like once I see where they are, I'm like, yeah, okay, I got you.
yeah.
So I get it.
But yeah, I mean, and like I said,
You should have been popping that shit though, bro. You should have
but
been like,
but to be real with you, it doesn't take away or add to me. You get what I'm saying? Because realistically, this is just me speaking affirmations for myself. It's not for nobody else. You feel me? Like it's not like the producer of the year wasn't for anybody else. It was for me. It was an affirmation for me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing to like I'm better than this person, I'm better than this person. I'm the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go into these rooms, whether it's a room here, whether it's a room in LA, whether it's a room in Atlanta, New York, Miami, I have to be myself at all times. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't allow like, oh, let me be the best on the street, let me be the best in this city, let me be the best in this town to get me. I have to be the best wherever I go. You know what I mean? Like so that mindset is instilled in me to where I want that for the people who are around me too. Like to feel like that to where don't be like that just here. Be like that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because now when you walk into these rooms, you have to be that. You know what I'm saying? Accolades are accolades. Talent is talent. Do I feel like I'm in the same talent pool as a Steven Spielberg? Absolutely. Do I have the same accolades? No, not even close. Right? That's a mindset you have to have when you go into these rooms. So now when you go into a room with Steven Spielberg, I can't act shy with Steven Spielberg, but when I'm pitching the idea to JG, I'm acting like I'm the biggest person in the world. You get what I'm saying? You have to be the same person. You can be a humble person, but just know who you are, right? And
true.
that's the thing to where it's like I've grown into to where I was in a production group, JG. A lot of people don't even understand this. I was in a production group where on any given day I could have been third or fourth best. You get what I'm saying?
That's a sick ass. But that is a sick ass place to be. Because anybody that knows me knows that in my house, I am second fiddle when it comes to this shit.
Hmm.
My wife is next level.
Shout out to P.
The shit that we are doing now, I literally just got told yesterday, you dumbass nigga, I've been telling you to do this shit for 4 years. Everything that you're
Yeah,
doing now, I've literally been telling you this, and I don't want to hear shit about none of this because you're late to the party. I'm
yeah,
second fiddle. But at the same time, I know that when I step outside of this house and she let me do what I do, I'm still the boogeyman. You nigga, I don't understand how for as long as I've known you and as much praise as we have put into you,
hmm,
pause. How it's been like one of those moments to where it's like, yo, I gotta do more. Cause it's like, nigga, no, you don't. You're literally him. You're him.
JG. You gotta understand. I operate outside of the city. I operate outside of the South. I operate outside of everything that's around me. So a lot
But
of
we weren't
people.
telling you that. But see, that's the thing though. You gotta remember who you talking to though, right? Nigga, I'm from Spartanburg and I'm
Yeah,
Spartanburg's own. I know that I'm the boogeyman if I go to Atlanta.
but
I
listen. This is
know
what
that I'm the
this is what I'm gonna tell you
boogeyman if
though.
I go to New York. I know that I can walk into any of these places and what
Hmm.
I do, I can do this and go crazy.
Oh no,
But
no,
I'm just
absolutely.
stuck here. Go find your charger, buddy. Who you talking to? I'm talking to Ron. Say what's up. Come on. Yeah. You remember Ron Days on 85? Take that. Go
What's up,
ahead.
man? But no, listen. I'm not even saying from that standpoint. I'm saying from a standpoint of you got to think. When I first moved to LA, right? I'm gonna tell you my first session, my first second night in LA. Second night in LA. My boy Frank, shout out to Frankie Zombie, his uncle who was working with Young Money at the time.
Zombino.
His uncle say, "I'm gonna take y'all to the session real quick." This is our second day in LA. We drive. LA is big as far, so you driving for a minute. We drive far. Some studio, right? We go in there with the dudes who just did Drunken Love.
Oh shit!
Now let me give you the story.
Let's go.
We
Come on.
we in there, right? This is our second day there. Now, no, we're not intimidated. Shout out to them. They were great guys. We're not intimidated because we want to, you know, what I mean, we feel like we dope too. This is our second day in LA though, right? The engineer get a text, and it's like something like he got to leave, right, to go somewhere. I'm the only person in the room who can engineer at this point. So
Yeah, let's go.
Guess who had the engineer? It was me. The next day, right? We get in with Stacey Barth. Stacey Barth had just did "Adore You" for Miley Cyrus. She had just did "Cheers" for Rihanna. Right? We go in there, and JG,
Nigga.
you gotta think.
What?
You gotta think. A lot of people around here are not used to being in rooms with people who have more accolades than them, or accolades at all. Right? I go into a room with this person, and I'm like, oh, I gotta write. We writing a record that Pharrell produced, right? We writing on a Pharrell beat with Stacey Barr, and I'm over there like, do I sing my part? And anybody know me up to that point, I'm singing my joint loud as fire. Boom, boom. I'm nervous to sing my joint, and she hear me. She say, "What you got going over there? Hey, babe, what you got going over there?" I was like, "Oh, I got a little something," and I sang it low, JG, low.
She said, "Open up. Let's go." Pause.
She said, "That's
Belt
hard.
that out.
I'm about to do
Yeah.
this right now." And
Yeah.
my mind went somewhere that it had never been before. Because again, you don't know, and like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from you, but you don't know who you are until you get around the others. You get what I'm saying? It's 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 different when you're around a bunch of your peers who you're used to being around, and then it's like you play ball, but you used to playing ball with everybody in the city, but then you go play on the AAU circuit, but you playing against the number one dude in the country, and you number 55 or so, you still top 100, but he number one, and then this person number two, and everybody in the top 50 who above you, you got to play against them, and your talent level may be there, but you ain't never played against nobody in that same, you know what I'm saying, that same field. That's a different statement to when you get in there, the acknowledgement there early on, like I said, I was 23, bro. Early on, it did so much for me because I had never seen nobody do it here. You get what I'm saying? Like I had never been around nobody who did it to the level we was doing. I had no one to call on and ask for advice. Not a single person.
But that's the beauty of being a trailblazer.
Yeah, but it's different. It's hard.
Y'all essentially, and I don't think we speak of this enough, but y'all essentially are the first NGYL. Y'all are the first J Bills. Y'all are the first Slime Dollars where y'all have actually seen the mountaintop.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we was there. Yeah,
like I and I say this, and this is coming from someone who just like I got a knack for talent. I wouldn't be in management if I didn't have a knack for fucking talent at this point. Like I watched y'all go off and do that, and I remember the entire you niggas coming into the mall like, yo, bro, we finna move to LA. Like y'all finna do what? Like, oh shit, like that's big.
yeah.
And it's like, nigga, us here, we know what y'all can do. So go do it. And to hear this from you to like I say this as a 32-year-old nigga. Like I'm 32. So I'm
Yeah.
in a way different mind space than versus 23.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I can't say is put me anywhere on God's green earth and whatever the bar says, that's the bar, goddamn. But
Yeah.
you will never outdo nothing with me.
Oh no. Like And I don't want you to get twisted. Like we got out there and we hit the ball rolling, like placement after placement. It's just you have to experience that one time. You know, like when I forget who said it, and for any boxing enthusiasts who may see this, I do apologize. One of them said it, Mike Tyson or Ali said, the real fight begins when you get punched in the mouth, right? That's when the real
True.
fight begins.
That's true
So
statements.
again, a lot of people, including myself at the time, had never been in these major studios with these major A&Rs, these major producers, these major engineers, right? And now being in my 30s, I'm like, bro, I'm so used to it, right? Because I spent so much time in it that's what I became. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. I'm a major producer. I'm a major artist. I consider myself a major producer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I say major producer, I produce for more than just the people around here too. You know what I'm saying? Like I write for signed artists. I'm in meetings with labels, you know what I'm saying? We actually do those things as well. So I look at myself as the same, but when I first got out there, I had never ran into another me. You get what I'm saying? Like, again, it's that basketball player like, oh, he can dunk too. If you're the only one in the gym who dunking, and you like, oh yeah, I'm nice. Yeah, you nice. You always gonna be nice. You see the other dude dunking, you like, oh wait a minute, let me add a windmill to this. Let me add a tomahawk to this. You ain't dunking regular no more. You feel what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So our thing was we always been who we was gonna be. It was just more so like, oh, okay, let me sit up with it. You know what I'm saying? You know that meme when it's like when you
Mm-hmm.
playing the PlayStation, when you get serious, you lean up. That's how it was. It was like, let me lean up. And I try to bring that same kind of attitude and purpose to the people who I work with. Because there's a lot of dope artists around here, a lot of dope musicians, but they may have never been in them kind of situations. My first time in a major studio was in Atlanta at Patchwork. I was in with Missy Elliott. Come on, bro.
That was the Dreamville session, right?
No, this is years before Dreamville. This is
Oh, this is
2013,
around the
12,
this
13.
is this is this is the LA era.
This is before we moved to LA. This is when me and Snook was still prestige. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Wait, what the fuck? Hold up. New stories unlocked. What do you mean? This is
yeah,
prior to moving to LA.
yeah.
Y'all went to Patchwork and did music with Missy?
We went to Patchwork to a Missy session. We was invited to
Hold up.
by our then
Stop. I gotta take
manager
my
Eddie
hat off.
Blackman.
I gotta take my hat off. Stop, stop, stop. Everybody stop. Everything stop. Wrong.
Talk to me.
You just sat here. I called you by your name. That's how niggas know.
People who
I
know me.
really
You know
know
what
this
I'm
nigga. I
saying?
know this nigga. My nigga, you just said you went to LA and you were with Stacy Barth because you said her name and I never heard it. I thought it was Bart, but it's Barth. Okay. You went there
Mm-hmm.
and were you spoke and it's essentially like you were timid in that session,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Nigga, you was prior to this, you were in a session with Missy Elliott and you were intimidated to be here with this lady?
It wasn't from a Missy was it was Missy's session, but we wasn't in the session to work. You feel what I'm saying? It was just we're meeting this manager who's going to become our manager. He obviously had a session with Missy coming in, and we was allowed to be there. You get what I'm saying? We were allowed to be there, which was my first encounter as an
The,
adult. Like
the
my like,
Spartanburg County and you wasn't like, hey, you should do it like this.
nah. Just because, like, again, knowing studio etiquette too, you got to think. Like my great uncle had a studio, and so I used to go in the studio, and I was the youngest person in the studio, so I knew where my place was.
Right.
Sometimes you have to know, like, hey, don't get kicked out the studio. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't do too
True.
much. You feel me?
True.
Like, don't get in the game if you're doing between the leg passes off the glass. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got to, you know what I mean? I was just so happy to be there. Again, that was my first time in a major studio. It was at Patchwork. We in there, it's plaques on the wall. It's
Was
Missy, who I
Missy
adore.
in the studio?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, and that. But I'm gonna tell you this. That was the first time they was playing records, and we played some monsters. We played some joints. We played some joints that ain't seen the light of day, but we played some joints. Me and Snook. And me and Snook was so geeked, and we had such a great time, bro. But when we left that session, I said, we about to take it up. Soon after there, we started getting John Legend stuff and, things like that start working in our favors, to which is why we became the classmates in the first place. And then that's why we moved to LA.
Yo, you say all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You speak of all this, right? And the lore of you, the lore of the classmates, like every name change you had, right? Ramiro Chavez, everything that you were, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to work this out of my mind, right? And I get it. Everybody is different. Everybody operates in a different way. My nigga, how are you not just walking into the room like nuts dragging across the floor? Like, yeah, I
Because
know who the
that
fuck I am.
I no.
I know what I
I'm
do.
I'm the person. I'm because again, you have to understand, like what I was saying earlier. It had nothing to do with my talent. Had nothing to do with none of that. It's I wasn't pleased in any other aspect outside of my talent. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't pleased mentally. I wasn't pleased in a spiritual way. I wasn't pleased in a physical form. I wasn't pleased in any of this. And I was still walking the room. And I'm never that person to be walking the room and be like, hey, I got this, I do this, I do this. I'm never going to be that person because realistically,
No,
who's going to be
no,
around?
not that person, right?
Just the
But just
confidence level?
even being to the point to where you're like,
Yeah.
because for me, like I said, I stole that a couple times. I was like, yo, that
Yeah.
shit just look cool as hell.
It's
Like
still
just
fly.
hand
It's
over the
fly.
face, right?
Yeah.
It's hard, but you got to remember that my niggas is my niggas, and I'm always gonna watch my niggas, right? So it's like it starts with this,
Mm-hmm.
and then it moves into, well, I just made this beautiful song, and all you catch is like maybe a side profile, or all you catch is
Yeah.
like maybe half my face in the camera type shit. And it's like, yo, nigga, you have always been that nigga.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, like you said, spiritual, mental, like the whole nine, but I don't know. I guess just me being me, like I've always just been like nothing can touch me. Like I've heard every joke in the world. I've faced rejection. Like none of that shit can phase me. Like I'm still gonna smile. I'm still gonna be the loudest nigga in the room, and I'm still gonna be who I am. So it's interesting to hear like you being in these spaces and you know
And that was early
commanding these
on.
different rooms and shit,
Yeah.
and then to still see like even through a smooth stretch, it's like fall back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just like I said, I never wanted to be the loudest person in the room. I never wanted to be the most boisterous or anything like that. It's just not I'm one of them people to where it's like, if you know me, like you know me pretty well. So, like we gonna cut up every time we see each other. But it's like, if I don't really know you, I ain't really in that space. You feel me? Cause it's like, I'm trying to see what people's intentions are. I'm trying to see
Mm-hmm. Go
what
ahead
the
now.
vibe is. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, boy.
Like I'm from the city too. So it's like, like, I'm trying to make sure everybody is who they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the same time too, I'm big on like who I'm with is who I'm with. You feel me? Like I'm really like on that type of vibe. And more so now, it's like I just had to get in that right space to where I wanted to. And honestly, JG, bro, it's like I talk to the people who I want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I have conversations with people I want to have conversations with who like minded, who want to understand it from my perspective. Because sometimes it's like if you knew how much I obsess over this stuff, bro, like I obsess over it. Like
Over what? What part?
creativity, bro. I can't like it's family, it's God, family, and creativity in that order. You know what I'm saying? Like I could sit in a room and create all day, whether it's music, whether it's film ideas, content ideas, um, you know what I'm saying, scores, whatever it is, bro. TV shows, I can create all day. And I feel like that's my happy place in a lot of spaces. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I understand
oftentimes
that.
I'm
I
looking
understand
for,
that.
yeah. So you got to understand, like, sometimes it's like, of course, who I was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the rooms I've been in, the placements I got, it's people who don't know a quarter of the placements I got, and the people I work with, and the type of, you know what I mean, companies I work with, and that, but
Pop that shit, nigga.
no, but it's, for me, it's like,
Pop it.
as
At
long
some
as I
point, we
feel
got to
good about
start
it.
popping it. Cause
But
I
listen,
know for me, they
that's
tell
what
me all the
you
time,
was. That's what the
I
people
am a
said you was.
quiet. I'm a quiet nigga. They be
Yeah,
like, JG, you don't say a lot of the shit that you have either been a part of or that you have actually done. And I be like, bruh, cause like a lot of this shit just be what it is. Like
yeah. And
it is what it is.
I really enjoy having, like, really good bonds with people. So it's like, realistically, a lot of stuff I do around here is out of, like I said, obedience. I'm told to do it. Like, people, believe it or not, it's like I'm told to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy when I met Play. I met Play at a water park, and we had the kid. You know what I mean? Kids is out there. I'm about to walk past him.
Wait. Stop. You
Yeah,
met this nigga in the water park?
I met Play at a water park, and what's crazy is, you have been sending me stuff for his. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say that, you've always been an advocate of Play. You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah,
talent, and
I'm one of the 12 disciples of play. That's a fact.
I remember vividly when White Walls came out. I was in New York working, and I was in the city. I was in Manhattan, and I was in my loft at the time, and
Come on, pop that shit off.
I was not saying that to be braggadocious, but I was just trying to paint the picture, because it was like the bedroom was like both walls were like just windows. It was no, like, what, so it was like, I want to say it had to be wintertime because it was snowing. It was like super cold. And you sent me the album, and you was like, yo, check this out when you get a chance. And I said, when I get back to the city, I'm gonna check it out. And I listened to it, and I was like, this is hard. And if I'm not mistaken, my timeline is correct, that same summer, we released Some Days Are Lucky. And that was in
Yeah,
May.
yeah, that's the
So
same era.
yeah. So then maybe like a couple weeks after that, I'm at the park, he at the park. I'm about to walk by because I'm going to a birthday party, and I see him, and I'm like, he looked familiar, but I ain't never seen him before. And he kind of tall in real person, like
No,
he
for
should be
real,
on the
that
NBA
nigga,
team.
that nigga smooth 6'3".
He should be playing for the Hornets for real. But I seen him, and this is the kind of person I am. I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, bro, you play, right?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, bro," I said, "Everybody call me Days on 85. My name is wrong. I want to make sure he knew my real name." You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do the stage name stuff all the time. But it's like, everybody call me Days on 85 by wrong. He said, "Oh, bro, I know who you are, bro. Nice to meet you, bro. I love what y'all did with Luck stuff." I said, "Bro, that's dope." I said, "Let me get your number real quick so we can politic." He gave me his number that day. I probably seen him again, probably like 2 weeks later at another birthday party, right? You know what I'm saying? Like another birthday party. And then he was like, "Bro, I'm about to start working. I need some records if you got some." And I said, "Bet, what you looking for?" And this nigga said, "You know what, bro? I'm just gonna send you what I've been listening to." So
Mm,
he sent me a playlist of a bunch
mm-hmm.
of like old school records, right? There's a bunch of old school. He said, "Yeah, bro, this is what I've been listening to." And I end up making like 3 to 4 beats that night, and we got in a group message. Me, him, Mars, and Play and Luck, and we had gotten a group message, and I ended up sending what ended up being "God Made Me Wait," the beat for that. I sent that over to him, and he said, "Nigga, that's crazy." He was like, "I'm gonna get Luck on this," and then that ended up being the title track of the album. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
like,
sir.
but and you gotta think, bro. I gave him that beat. We linked up again at Adam Black Studio. Me, him, Luck, Adam Black, Mars, and we had a conversation for like 3 to 4 hours. We played music probably 30 minutes out of those 3 to 4 hours, and we all just sat there and built with each other. and I realized this is a really, really good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he the best rapper in the area.
it wasn't even about rap no more. It was about, again, I'm drawn to people as people.
I say
So
I say rap, but I say that in being rap is not just my musical ability.
mhm,
See what a lot of people don't understand about play, gusto, luck,
mhm.
Doc. Like there are rappers here. Shameless plug on one of those, but they'll catch that in a later date. There are artists here that fit that mold, right? I
Yeah,
can put them in any place in the world and they'll be who they'll be,
yeah,
right? Aesthetically, this is pause because I'm talking about a bunch of guys. But aesthetically, right?
yeah,
Let's just line up those four guys. Let's throw in Max. Let's throw in Cam, right? When you look at these people, even if you didn't know they made music, you look at them and be like, these motherfuckers is cool,
it's the aura.
right? It starts with that factor, and then they start to peel everything back. Like, you got to remember, a lot of the hype that came behind Play came from right here. Because I knew what I could do. I was like, this is the first time, not even the first time. This is one of those moments that where I've seen a nigga and I'm like, he got what it takes.
Yeah,
And out of no like nothing, I was like, yeah, I know the nigga. I fuck with the nigga. The nigga make great shit. Watch this. Cause you gotta remember, I get phone calls about that nigga to this day. Niggas be like, bruh,
he's amazing. I think, bro, it's a ton of people around here like who have that kind of aura to where, and like when I tell people this, I be like, bro, like I hope whenever the Lord is like, hey, you don't supposed to be here anymore, I leave an imprint on this world more than music. Cause I'm a person, bro. Like you gotta think is half these dudes we talk about. I just spoke to Doc probably like an hour before I got on the phone with you, bro. Half the
my
time
boy.
I'm not even talking about music. Me and look, I spoke to Luck this morning. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I spoke to the play a couple weeks ago. I'm never talking about music with half these people because it's like I'm building real bonds because realistically, like how I look at music, bro, music, I'm obsessed with music, but I'm obsessed with life as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm obsessed with. It could be somebody who's super, super duper talented, but if we don't mesh, if your personality and my personality don't get along with each other, what are we doing music for? You know what I'm saying? Like that's why the people who to go back, you know what I mean, to let me use some of my skills and my journalism skills to go back to what you said earlier.
Come
You know,
on now,
sometimes
brother.
sometimes it's like Max is like has become like one of my closest people I talk to. Me and Max, we get on the phone and talk for hours. You know what I'm saying? Like I can call Max and he gonna come through. Like you know what I'm saying? He gonna like these people. I admire these kind of people, bro, because you don't get a lot of those in real life. I've been in LA and I've been in the Hollywood conversations to where it's like this is a Hollywood conversation. Y'all will never work with each other, or this is just a studio thing. This is never. Y'all are never going out to get nothing to eat. Y'all ain't going. Y'all ain't going to watch no game together. Y'all ain't doing none of this. Y'all don't care about how y'all mentals are. I don't want that. I want real life connections to where I've built a lot of those with the people around here, such as Luck, who's like my brother, Play. Um, Mars is a great guy. Um,
My fucking nigga.
you know what I'm saying? Of course,
I
me
love
and
that
Black
nigga
Man, like,
Mars.
like it's a ton of people, bro, to where it's like I like seeing them. I like having conversations with them, not just on some like let's do music together. Nah, it's not like that. Like I was in the studio with Chubby a month ago, and I'm like, Chubby's a great guy, a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Like to be in these spaces with these people and just be like, that's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Because in your 30s, you don't meet people. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to work and you go home. You feel me? Like you have work friends, but that ain't really like you ain't coming over to my house. We ain't about to kick it. You know what I mean? So I like meeting people in my space to where it's like, yeah, this is what I do, and that's what they do, and we can actually
That's
build
my
together.
problem in content though.
Yeah, but that's where y'all got to
I
get.
don't
I mean,
I
I
don't want to
feel like
talk to these niggas.
But see, that's why I feel like, and I'll say this while we on live. I've been doing this thing, and I told you this last week. I've been doing these group sessions, right?
Right.
And cats out the bag. These group sessions are not for me. I go to the studio every day, right? I wanted to do something to where it was like me and you from the same city. We know what it was like to go to a football game on Friday, go to the mall on Saturday. After the mall, you either gonna go to Spartan 16, you're gonna go to the gas station, you're gonna go to Walmart parking lot, right? You're gonna go to the
Or you
club.
go to Cool World,
You
baby.
gonna go to you gonna go to Cool World, right?
Yeah. Let's
Right.
go to Cool World.
What is that for late 20 somethings, early 30 somethings in the musical aspect? What is that? There's no space that exists. Let's create the space. So what I was doing was I said, you know what? I text a whole bunch of people who I enjoyed their music. And I said, hey, would you be down to go in with a session? Let's go in a session, get a few hours, and let's just create. Let's not go in here creating with a notion of we making an album. Because that's the only time a lot of people go to the studio. They only go to the studio when they're making an album. If you only go to the gym when you playing the game, you probably ain't gonna get better than what you was the last time. You got to get up your
True.
shots, right?
True.
So realistically, we've done 4 of these now, right? And
Hold on, bro. How you fall in? Just give me. No, I'm just fucking around.
Nah, but listen, and I want to involve the media people like yourself, like you know what I mean, like a Skillet, like Mo, all of you guys, right? To where y'all can come into these sessions too, because I know half the time y'all don't get to come to studio sessions until a nigga wants you to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? It's not often to where I
I'm
see media
spoiled.
people.
I'm spoiled.
I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody.
I'm spoiled. And I can say that about the rest of them. It's selective in those that can actually be a part of the creation process. But I have an upper hand because of who I am.
You're a manager as well, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's
No,
like,
we're not even
and
manager.
what's talking like the
DJ.
phone calls you're gonna get? Yeah, you a DJ as well, right?
Like
But I'm talking about it's
those
certain
early
rooms.
times. I can
Yeah.
say that I've seen some of the best records that have come out of Spartanburg, I've seen created.
See, you wasn't in there when we did Doc album. And if you
You
was
say
in
what?
there, you wasn't in there when we did Doc album,
Cause you
which is
don't
my
call
fault.
me, nigga.
No,
Call
no, no,
me.
no, no, no. Oh, listen. I'm saying, think about this. We did that album in a night. If I have you in there to see it, of course you gauging it, you like, that's hard, right? From the story. But if you saw it, it's a difference. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference. You can report on it now in a lot different way because you saw the creation of these raps. You saw when the beat was in inception. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing is what we're trying to do. But we've had, man, like I said, we've had 4 of them. Great sessions, by the way. Everybody who's came has created on a different level. People are meeting people they never met before, and they're building these relationships to where we want to continue to do that. So, like I said, for me, it's more than the music. It's about that bonding experience and all. But you know, that's just again another thing I was called to do. I was just like, yeah, I got to do this.
Okay, so let me ask this.
Mm-hmm.
When I look through the track list of the latest album, right?
Yep.
There are some names that are almost like, oh shit, how'd you do that? Are
Yeah.
these sessions a part of those moments?
Cat out of the bag again. The album was done before the last session. I just ended up playing a record. Like Doc was. I had all these songs. With you, Doc had a verse, and he started writing a verse. He did it at one of the sessions. That same session, Gotti came through. Gotti was outside. Gotti came in. It was like a slower song playing. Gotti said, "Ron, I need something with some bounce in it." I said, "You want some bop?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Bop coming up." That's what the Timberland bounce coming up. I put on the record with Gotti. I put on that record. Know that Gotti said, "I'm going in the booth." I said, "Bet." Neil walks in as soon as Gotti goes into the booth. I said, "Hey, I need a verse by the time he get out the booth." I hand him the headphones because I had the beat playing on the laptop as well. By the time Gotti got out the booth, Neil went in. That's how that was done. And those two songs, like I said, were already done, but they hopped on them in those sessions. Absolutely.
Okay. How in the hell did you get Sauce out from under the rock?
What's crazy is if I tell you that song's 2 years old.
What?
That song is 2 years old. We did that song. That song, yeah, it might be 2.5 years old. We did that song. Paul sent me the beat, Culture P. Well, he played me the beat at Chemo Studio actually one night, and I just started humming, and I loved it. And I was just like, yo, this is tough. And I recorded my part, and I was talking to Snook, and I was like, bro, I think this one I had just got hit the sauce via you. You had played me some stuff from her, and I was like, this was a little bit after her and Blues did the project together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
a little bit
Okay.
after that. And I was like, I think salsa sounds good on this. And then she pulled up the Adam Black Studio, did the verse. I had it into for a minute.
That's been sitting around on the hard drive for that long?
Throwback has too.
Because that would actually predate me as management, right?
Manager, yeah. Yeah, this was before that. This was before it did, bro.
So how do you sit on that for that long?
I can let you see the hard drive one day.
No, it's shit like that to where it's like, my nigga, how?
Again, I wasn't in that space. I went in that space to where that's a summer record. I needed that record to be out in the summer. I needed certain vibes to be there. I needed the vibrations to be there. I didn't want to just drop that to be like, oh, I'm just dropping something. And it's also too like I was really like, I had missions to complete. I had to finish the Lux stuff. I had to finish all 3 of them albums. I had to do the movie. I had to finish Seek's album. I had to finish T Stack's album. I had to finish AMA album. I had to finish Complicated Theme Show. I had to finish our TV show that we're working on. I had to finish Doc's album. I had to finish these side missions, which they weren't side missions. They were complete missions. It was just stuff I was doing on the side, right? To where it was like I had to finish those so I can give myself the full capability to enjoy myself. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's some sick ass shit.
Yeah, but I got like Throwback was another record. I did Throwback, Dedicated, and Check on Me was all done within like the same couple weeks, and that was like 2.5 years ago. And those were the only 3 records I did for this project that I intended to be for me.
Hold on, I gotta pull up the album because nigga, you was a sick ass nigga to have some of this shit going on with. Days on 85. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. Bam. So this album technically has been done how long?
Every song on there is at least a year and a half, 2 years. Outside of Come Over maybe 7-8 months. The interlude, but that was done intended to sell for somebody else.
So Come Over is one of those songs like, yeah, I'm finna walk into the studio session with X, Y, and Z. Here go one.
10 of those songs were that. Or how many songs are there? 12. So 9 of them was that. Now, I can tell you who the songs were intended for. You'll be like, no, that.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All Right With Me. Who is that for?
All Right With Me. I wrote that originally for LA. ELHAE. I work with him often, so I've done a few records with him.
Comfortable is one that you all should find. Let's go ahead and put that out there. That's my favorite.
And I don't even know if he ever even got the record. His manager had it for a while, and I don't know, what happened. But I love the song. That's probably one of the oldest songs on there too.
All Right With Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Replay. There's people who have that song. Replay. We did that for a few people actually have that song. So I'm not gonna name everybody's name. There's a few people who actually cut the song already, but they didn't do anything with it. But the biggest artist I wrote it for her originally.
Okay. Come Over. Who is that for?
Phabo.
Who?
Phabo. PHABO. Yeah,
Okay.
look him up.
I'm
Yeah.
hip. I'm hip. No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I was about to say,
real
you know who he
niggas
is,
is
right?
hip.
Yeah.
Real niggas is hip. We know.
And like I said, I don't even know if he got the record, but like we sent over a bunch of records. That was one of them.
Okay. First flight out.
Breezy,
Chris Brown.
the brownest. Yeah. My headphone keep falling out, by the way.
You gotta put the joints in, G. You got the
Oh yeah.
pros, right? Those look like
Yeah.
pros.
They are the
Yeah, you
pros.
gotta. Yeah,
I
you
need to
gotta
go get the
have the.
amateurs. I need to
You
get the
gotta get the
amateurs.
right size in there, G.
I guess. I don't know.
All right, pause.
Oh,
Dive in.
Breezy.
All right, we got the Chris Brown 2-pack. Know that. Omarion?
You can tell how I'm singing on it.
Now
That
I'm gonna
song's
go
meant
back.
to dance.
Right. I'm gonna go back. Me and P finna go back and listen to this shit. I'm finna see, what's what. Throwback.
Throwback was originally I did it for myself.
Okay, 10-4.
Yeah.
Check on me. Who that for?
As well. Again, like it
Okay.
was 3 that was originally for me. Yeah.
All right, with you.
With you? With you? With Doc? Oh, that was for her. That was for her.
That's for her. Okay. Like you.
She wrote that song right after. I wrote that song right after she came out with "Comfortable." The song "Comfortable." I feel so comfortable with you.
Okay.
That one, I was like, oh yeah, she need a bop, but yeah, it didn't work.
All right, like you.
Like you, that went to a few people. Honestly, it was over a different beat too. That beat is new. I made that beat 2 weeks ago, but the song, I forget who that song was intended for. It was from a Snook. Snook had a plug with a few different producers. I forget who that
Shots for
one
my
was
nigga
originally.
Snook.
Yeah, it was.
Shots for my nigga Snook.
I want to say that was like one of the like up and coming artists, not necessarily like a huge name, but like you know what I'm saying, like one of them. But yeah,
Okay. Dedicated.
Dedicate was mine from Rip. Yeah.
And I Choose You is the last record.
Oh, I choose you. Oh man. Oh man. You wanna know something? That's a new that's not as old. Your wedding song, right? The song I did that, you know what I mean? That song and I choose you. I did those.
Me, nigga, I got a wedding song, hoe ass
Yeah.
niggas. No, I'm just playing.
I did both of those in the same day. But that one was for Mario actually.
So
I had
this
wrote that one.
possibly could have been my wedding song.
Could have been. Could have been.
When I get off of here, I'm sliding into the corner with the queen. We gonna see what that shit do.
Yeah, it's very romantic. It's not as slow as the one, you know what I mean, that you guys end up having, but
Yeah. I actually gotta find it. It's been a while since I heard it. I should have played it on my 1 year anniversary, but
should have. You should have. I gotta put it out too. That may make one of these albums that's gonna drop.
it should, bro. When you do the video, just call us. We'll pull back out the shit.
Yeah. Hey, Jizzle, I don't want to be a bad interviewee. My phone may die, so I want.
No. You good? You good? Because we are at 88 minutes, and real niggas got a PP. Yeah, I've been seeing her having a blast.
Brother. Love you, man.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug up anything you need to plug up. We gonna get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Just stream that Days in the City. Stream the Seventh Day. Stream Some Days Are Lucky. Stream The Perfect Villain. Stream The Good, the Bad, and the Lucky. Stream Find a Swank. You know, any of these projects I've to stream Trust Me by Seek. Stream Red Wine by T Stags. Stream A Strange Place by AMA. And if I'm missing some other stuff, I do apologize. So stream all that. And check me on my dog.
Hey man, and just like that, this is our first 1013 live with the guy. Y'all come fuck with us, man. We appreciate this.
Yes, sir.